Hello, children. Cappy has to bang out some videos quick, so it's being quick. And just so you know, I'm going to be gone most of Memorial Day weekend, unloading and moving crap into my new home. And I got to get internet access and all that other stuff. So I'll make an announcement otherwise, but just so you guys know, we have an interesting question because all questions asking me about me are all fascinating, interesting topics because I'm so effing fascinating. Uh, hello, Cappy Cap of the Cappy Capness in the grand internet of assholeness. Returning retired military veteran here for 3 years now. I've listened to your videos with several nuggets here and there. Here's a scenario. Put together your personal, not financial advice playlist on how you would put this together. Cappy, for some unknown reason, okay, so this is a hypothetical here. Cappy, for some unknown reason, is married with family and kids. You come into some sort of large sum of funds in the $20 million range, net after tax and or debts and playtime, from either inheritance, lotto ticket, or clever, mind-blowing idea, one-time payout. What does Cappy invest in for diversification with 20 million to split around with percentages, reasons in crypto, home commercial investments, precious metals, stock markets, mutual funds? Is there another idea that you venture capital in to grow a bit? Is there another idea that venture capital in to grow a bit with your minimalist mindset and approach to be comfortable? That's it. Keep putting together awesome content, F and truth bombs, teaching our young. I've had my 19-year-old read your books and watch your videos and all that other stuff. Thanks. I'll keep you anonymous. So if Cappy had 20 million, what would he do? And you want it in these particular funds, but then I'll mention some other things I'd probably invest in as well. Crypto, it would depend on where the price is. Now, that thing is so volatile that I have randomly set, and it truly is random, because that's all anybody does. No one knows. I am a reluctancy to get into crypto until Bitcoin goes below 10,000, and even then, I dollar cost average. But now I have the very luxurious position. I listened to Carrie Lutz, gosh, 8, 9 years ago, cryptocurrency, and so I bought one Bitcoin at 800, and another Bitcoin at like $30 or $35. I amassed one. That's a better way of putting it because I did accept Bitcoin at Asshole Consulting for a while, and people were paying like this is worthless. I'm like, and even I stopped collecting like that. This ain't going to go anywhere. And then until more recently, Money Printer Go Burr and all that other stuff, I have a little bit more faith in crypto. I would probably also diversify in Ethereum or Litecoin as well. Maybe a bit of Monero, but that's Woodland. Cappy's never. I've been very almost, I would say, too frugal with my money in paying off my debts. Had I taken that money, invested in the S&P 500 or other investments outside of paying off my house, I would have been financially net ahead. Excuse me. So yeah, I would invest in some crypto. How much? If it went below 10,000, I toss about $1 million in, diversified portfolio of crypto. So I got 19 million less. Home and commercial investments. I would not get a bigger home. The home I have is more than adequate, but I might buy other property. How that would play out would depend on the vehicle by which I would invest in the price. So I pay off my mortgage, which wouldn't make a dent in the amount of money that I have to spend. I would not get another home to live in, but I would maybe buy some farmland or some commercial land and rent it out to farmers. I would absolutely, most definitely buy a modest home, not a big home, but a modest home in a foreign country, probably two. So if I ever had to leave the United States, I'd leave. I'd have a nice little house, not big. But to be perfectly honest, instead of buying specific land, I would probably invest in a real estate investment trust for buying specific pieces of land. I might buy a small little piece of land, like I did in South Dakota, and then in Poland or whatever, or Ecuador. So at a later point in time, I could build on it if I had to, because a house would houses need maintenance and that kind of thing. So I wouldn't want to have the time, but I would definitely buy physical property overseas before I do anything like that. And commercial property, probably not. Um, one, you got to be around to manage it, and I wouldn't buy commercial property in the United States because everyone's just becoming a spoiled little brat that don't think they have to pay their rent, wait for bailouts, and they'll skip out. Even companies, so it's the United States is a bunch of untrustworthy people, and you could expect them not to do what they say they're going to do. So I would have my house here paid off, and how much. I'd probably throw a little bit more of that. I'd have like a 4 million maybe position in real estate. Certainly less than a million of it would be properties I'd live in. The rest would be real estate investment trusts, probably held by an overseas brokerage. And maybe physical land that didn't need maintenance overseas somewhere. Precious metals. Right now I have 200. I got more than 200. I had never added it up. I know I went past 200. It's like the number of girls I dated. More than 300. I'd stop keeping count after 3. So I got my critical thing. I'd like to have a little bit more. Maybe 1,000. I don't know. I really, that's kind of like one and done. You don't have to worry about it. And if I was this well diversified in other places, I wouldn't think, I need that much silver. But let's say silver and gold. I would also throw collectibles in there, not Pokemon cards, not what is it? Not Beanie Babies, like actual good art that I also like, so I have a functional use to it. Maybe old classic cars or something like that, something that will maintain its value, roughly speaking. So precious metals and collectibles, maybe another million. All right, so crypto, I said 1. Home and commercial, I said 4. Precious metals, I'd say 1 million. So that's we're up to 6. Stock market. This is probably where most of my money would go. Oh, and then you say mutual funds. Well, I'd consider those one and the same, because mutual funds do invest in the stock market, generally speaking. Now, you can have mutual funds that are bond funds or precious metal funds, but let's just call them marketable securities, stocks. Let's say stocks. I would throw. You know what? I keep 2 million cash. That's what I would do. I'd keep 2 million cash. Is there any idea of venture? And so I'd have that. Yeah. So what are we at? We're at 1 million there, 4 million there, 1 million there. That's 6 million. And I want to keep 2 million cash. So that would be 8 million. So 12 million I throw into a very diversified indexed fund portfolio, where the lion's share, I'd say, well, I have enough investments. I really wouldn't have to worry about growing ill or old. I mean, I will get ill and old, but I won't run out of the money. What I'd probably do is like 90% stocks and 10% quality corporate bonds. And where would I invest that money? Like in which assets? Maybe the S&P 500, but the problem is the United States government through the IRS can prevent payouts and dividends. So, boy, with 12 million, maybe 3 million in the S&P 500. And then I think I probably have like an Asian index fund, because they're more culturally stable, generally speaking. They like to work. Maybe a Middle Eastern, like Dubai or something like that, a little bit in there. But yeah, maybe a fourth in the U.S., fourth, maybe even half in the Asian index fund. And you know what? I probably a little bit in the Middle Eastern fund, and then also a little bit in a global equity fund that just tracks the main global stock markets. So you have that. Mutual funds, that's how I'd invest in the stock market. And then 10% left. All right. And then with the 2 million, that would give me more than enough cash reserve. I would have that diversified into different currencies. I'd have the Chinese yuan. I'd have some euro. I'd have the Swiss franc. I have some Norwegian kroners, Singaporean dollars. Those would be the main currencies I'd have it in equal amounts. And then as for like venture capital stuff, I'd have a little bit of money left. I could always liquidate some, stocks if I'm like a kid who had a really good investment idea. I'm like, okay, I'd invest in that. I might sprinkle a little bit here and there into some private investments. But to be perfectly honest, I would outsource that to a friend that I know who that's kind of her job. Because if I had that much money, I'd be having fun. I'd be just like, okay, how do I square all my money away so no matter what happens in the world, I at least maintain $5 million in purchasing power. And then Cappy's going to go hike and ride his motorcycle and do what he does. And I podcast. So that's what I would do. What I probably would do, okay, I take that back. I would take at least $1 million out of that somewhere and do a massive marketing campaign to advertise Worthless, to like just warn like a generation of kids not to do it. Or maybe the Book of Numbers, because kids won't listen. They just won't. They have to go to college because, frankly, they're worthless human beings in their minds if they don't. Because what else do they got to do? That's all you parents train your kids to think is like, unless they go to college, get an education or career, they're worthless. Forget love or family. Forget being a mom or dad, be a husband or wife. Oh no. Yeah, I'd get one of my books out there to the New York Times bestseller list by just basically doing a massive marketing campaign, and then maybe that might raise some people, wake them up. So there we go. DJ Aftershock, $2. Cap invested his money in a brew pub in GameStop, bro. I would invest my money in a dog beating company so we could all beat dogs. This is Black, $5. Hey, what up, Aaron? No storms for a week, so gym time. Good for you. Later in June or July, I'm going to be up at Dakota's regular for sure. Well, hit me up if you're out here. Although I'm going down to Vegas for that conference on masculine excellence, which is on the 4th. So I'm going to do one more video. Creed for €5. Do you see more economic potential in Asia, Europe, or one of the Americas for the coming decade? Hard to find a non-socialist country to invest in. I'd say Asia in general. Because and keep in mind, Asia is very big, and there's scores of countries, and they're different cultures. So I would say generally Asia, yes. America long term, no. Maybe some South American countries, or I would say even Mexico. Russia, I look into Russia, but I just anywhere where there's woke culture, and forget social, anywhere where people are starting to value their skin color or their gender or their made up mental illness or their made up sexual identity, just at the expense of those with actual sexual identity like that or actual mental illness. No, this country is too weak, filled with too many weak, sad, pathetic people. Japan, maybe. But yeah, you bring up a point there, Creed. It's not like there's always a safe haven to happen. The world goes global woke, global. Oh, look at me, I'm so valuable because of how I was born. Me. Hey, where's the food? Don't worry, the always available. They will take care of it. Kind of like how all those remember when pharmaceutical companies were horrible, evil, multi-billion-dollar corporate greedy, and hey, did they come up with a vaccine for you like in 3 months, huh? Kimball Conklin, $5. Welcome, Kimball. Theta Gang is a great way to earn weekly income on shares you own. Selling covered calls. Okay, Theta Gang. Is that a platform? I guess look up Theta Gang if you're interested in starting trading in the stock market. All right, that's it. Questions, answers, assleconsulting.com. See you guys later. Cool.